Hi, hello, and welcome to episode 6 of the Whips and Whimsy podcast. My name is Zenith. My pronouns are they, them. I'm happy you're here with me. This is a podcast where I talk about all things crafty that I'm doing lately. This week we have knitting, and we have more knitting. Today is Saturday, May the 3rd. Tomorrow is Sunday, May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you if you are a Star Wars fan. I am a Star Wars fan. Check out the new shirt I got for Anzor, which is like my favorite show ever right now. It's my entire personality. If you've watched it, go down to the comments. Let's talk. Let's be nerds. I'm not going to say anything other than I love it because I don't want to spoil anyone, but head to the comments section and we can discuss if you're into that. Anyway, I hope you're having a really good week. I am having a much better week than I was. April sucked. April kicked my butt. April was like, I'm not taking prisoners. And then literally the moment May hit, May was like, I don't know her. May was like, no. April, sit down. And like immediately reversed a whole bunch of like the worst things that happened in April, just immediately stopped. So I'm doing a whole lot better. I am still going to the gym every day, like 7 days a week, because I'm like, I need an easy win right now, and like showing up that's all I need. Like, I don't need to do anything crazy. I need to show up and be like, I made it. Some days we actually work out. Some days we do like a 10-minute core workout where half of it is just doing cat cows. Like, that's fine. Whatever. We're doing a lot better. We have gotten knitting done. We have re-dyed the hair. I only dye my hair like 4 times a year anyway, but it was at the point where I was like, I need to do something. And we have done something. I hope that life is also treating you well, that you are having a good time, that we are all here together here at the end of the world. Let's get into the knitting, shall we? So first things first, the pig parade. If you are new here, if this is your first time, first of all, welcome. Second of all, one of the things I do for daily stress relief is I knit a tiny pig. I knit the Chichester the Pig pattern by Helen Apocalypse, also known as Apocalypse Knits. This is an old pattern from like 15 years ago. It's free. You're supposed to use DK weight yarn. I hold fingering weight double. And then you do like a size 3 needle. And at the widest point, you have 18 stitches on your needle. It takes half an hour to make one. And I make one every day. We're almost every day. So these are my piggies. They make me so happy. These two are going to go into my little stockpile because I have a stockpile of tiny pigs to give out. These two are going to go to coworkers of mine who have not yet received tiny pigs. I also have some pigs I need to pull out of my stockpile this week because I realized I have not pig bombed anyone at my gym. And everyone at my gym is like, yeah, Zenith, like the one who's like deadlifting and like powerlifting and stuff. Like, that's Zenith. And I just want to turn up and be like, I also knit tiny pigs. I contain multitudes. And I'm very excited. I'm going to start doing that tomorrow and just become a menace to literally everyone. The other thing I have to show for the pig parade, which is not pigs but still belongs here, is the chili peppers are back, babe. Every time I finish a pair of socks, I knit a chili pepper about it with the main color. So I have 2 new additions right here. If this one looks wonky, it's because I forgot to stuff it. And I remembered after I finished it and then was like, I do not have the emotional or spiritual bandwidth to pull back 20 stitches and pick it back up and stuff it and then redo that 20 stitches. I was like, no, it's just unstuffed. That's where we're at. That's how we go in. I don't care. I think it looks fine. Yes, this is I feel like it needs to be a necklace and it's not. That makes me sad, but this is my chili peppers. I'm debating going back and adding in the ones from the start of the year that I did not do because I just randomly started this in February. So then I can end up having like a complete, like all the socks I've knit in 2025 chili pepper string. I might do that. I think I only have like one that's not represented here. So I will see. In fact, one of the ones that needs to be represented here, I am actually using again to make a second pair of socks. So it would make sense. It would make sense if I went back and did that. So I think I am. Anyway, I don't remember the name of this pattern, so I'm going to put it down below. And yeah, that's my chili peppers. We are in the midst of all of the chaos and all of the nonsense. We are still doing little derpy things. And I just, oh, we're living our best lives here. This is what I do with my 20 years of knitting experience. Anyway, those are all my finished objects for the week. So we will move into whips now. My first whip is in my favorite bag. This is a cosmetics bag from my local goth clothing store. And I don't wear makeup, so I put knitting inside of it. And this is my Kalara shawl, which is around here somewhere. So I got this far on it. We're doing great. We're almost to the last section of decreases. This thing's getting big. My goal was to finish this in April, and clearly I did not. I continue to underestimate how much work it takes to make a shawl, which is not surprising considering I don't make shawls very often. But I am going to put it on hold, and I'm going to tell you why. I have a friend of mine who is incredibly rad, and she's a knitter, and she's the kind of knitter who is never ever going to make a pair of socks. She does not. And that's okay. She is the kind of knitter who will just compulsively knit sweaters. Love that for her, because I am the opposite. I will make socks all day long, every day, having a great time, having a ball. And if you're like, hey, Zenith, can you make me a sweater? I'm like, I can't make myself a sweater. I'm not doing that. I do not care about gauge. I do not care for all of these little fiddly bits. I do not care for having to check a pattern over and over. I don't want to have to buy 5 skeins of yarn when I can buy 1 skein of yarn. I'm not doing it. That sounds like hell on earth. I don't know. Like mad respect for everyone who does it. I'm not that person. I am not the one. So anyway, so Jen and I were talking one day, and we came up with a little barter. So she is going to knit me a sweater for the fall, the V-neck boxy. I've drop shipped the yarn to her. In the meantime, she is sending me a package of like 5 skeins of yarn to be turned into socks for her, which is going to be awesome. But she also, in the meantime, got accepted to grad school in Iceland in August, which is awesome. Like the coolest thing ever. And she's also coming to visit me in June. So if I don't have to pay international postage, I'm not going to. And if I don't have to pay postage at all, I'm not going to. Which means I need to prepare myself for receiving 5 skeins of yarn and turning them into socks before like mid-June. So yes, we're working on socks. I already have a bunch of socks I want to finish by June. We've been talking about this for weeks, but now it's like we're only knitting socks right now. So we're going to do that. We're going to try to get them all done, hopefully by June, if not before August. So I've been turning all my attention right now is going to socks. Kalara is going into hibernation. My blankie is going into hibernation. And now we have socks to talk about. So that's fine. That can stay there. Last week I showed you the yarn I had chosen from my spinner. We have socks this week. We have 2 partially completed socks. This one actually just needs the toe. This one we are in the gusset. The contrast color is Patina. The main color is Emo Cthulhu. Oh, this is Stroll Effects. This is Yaksha from 100 Ravens. I said last week was Yakish. No, it's Yaksha. It is the best yarn I've ever worked with, and I have to constantly stop myself from like going and just buying every single color that they have of Yaksha because it's so good. So good. But I also need to show restraint. I have tons of other yarns that I need to use. So yes, I do my standard sock recipe. I don't follow a specific pattern, but I do 10 rounds of 2x2 ribbing for the cuff, 30 rounds for the leg. I do a standard slip stitch heel and gusset, and then I do however many rounds I need for the foot. I do 56 stitches around if I'm knitting a sock. For man feet, I just make a bigger gusset, and that tends to work out well for me. So my standard gusset is my standard. I mostly knit women's socks, and those get 28, and then men's socks either get 30 or 32 for the gusset, for the flap. And that's the only difference I do there. I use size 1 flexi flips, as you can tell. I live and die by those. I love them. So yeah, that's my main pair of socks. That's my main squeeze. They're in this bag. I'm hoping to get through the gusset on those today, and then possibly through some of the foot. It depends. I have some like up in the air plans where at some point I have been told like one of my friends is going to show up at my house to pick me up, and I need to have knitting on hand and be ready to ride around in the car. And I'm like, that's my favorite way to hang out. Let's drive around for 2 hours while I knit a sock. So, but I don't know like when that is happening, but I need to have it at the ready. So I need to be through the gusset on that one. And then I've done something I've never done before. Ever. Perceive me. First of all, check out the bag. The bag is from Tiny Human Knits. Oh, this side's way better. Tiny Human Knits is a dyer out of Canada, and I'm obsessed with her stuff. I have the matching yarn to go with this. I just haven't knit it yet. But right now, what's in there is a second pair of socks. I've never had 2 pairs of socks on the needle at the same time before, so that's really exciting. I started these yesterday while I was catching up on Andor. This is not what I expected to have completed for 2.5 hours of TV time. I really thought it was going to be further along, but it's also fine because what I was planning to do was to just knit 2 cuffs and then add the stripies in today while I was riding the car. And that did not happen because I forgot. I got distracted because I was like, stuff is happening. And then I was like, whatever, I'm just gonna roll with it. So we did that. So I've started this pair of socks. I love them. They're super cute. This contrast color is Stroll Key Lime Heather. And then the stripes are Vesper Sock Heavy Fingering. And this is Summer in the City. Yes, I love the way this is knitting up so far. I wish I had the full repeat done, because like, what the hell is that? This is the coolest color ever. I'm making these pair of socks for someone else. I'm not going to say who, because they may or may not be watching. But I will say that I'm pretty sure I'm going to finish this pair of socks and then put that yarn aside to make socks for me. I think that's Zenith socks right there. I think I'm going to do black as a contrast color and just vibe it out. Because they're so good. Also, these socks I'm knitting for Knit All the Yarn is doing a knit along with it's like Knit All the Stripes. And this is a stripy yarn. So these are part of that knit along. I don't know that I've ever participated in a knit along before, and I'm very excited about that. So, like, I know I have it on the channel because the channel is like 6 weeks old. But I think even on Ravelry, I don't think I've done like a full like knit along before. So that's very exciting for me. I'm very excited about these socks. So I have those to look forward to. What I want to try to do is copy what all the other sock knitters on YouTube do and have multiple pairs of socks and basically just rotate out like we're in a stockinette portion. This can be around people, and then like this is a heel flap or like this is a toe. I need to actually focus on that. Like that would make sense. That would make sense for me to do it that way rather than just being like incredibly monogamous to my socks and then being like, why am I not being as fast as I could? I could be faster. Anyway, that is all of my works in progress right now. But I do have an acquisition that is not yarn. And I will show you them. They're necklaces. One of them is hooked on yarn. We're doing great. Thank you. How's it going? So this one is an anchor. And this one is my more favorite one. And this one is just a little Maui hook. These are Portuguese knitting necklaces that I ordered from, I think it's Lazy Cat Fibers. I have one that I always wear because I knit Portuguese style. I think I mentioned that in the first episode, and then I've like forgotten to mention it ever since. I had this one custom made for me 4 years ago, and it has been Old Faithful especially considering it was made by somebody who does not knit. It was like a jewelry maker, and I was like, can you make this? And she was like, yes, and definitely had no idea what I was talking about. And like, it is just kind of like by chance and by luck, it is like still holding together after 4 years of use, but it is not doing its best. The reason I bought new ones is because the other day I was at work. I work in a factory. I move heavy objects around, and my necklace got caught on a heavy box, and the box, like, I put it down and the necklace went with it, and the wrapping came undone from the amethyst and the hook came off, and I was like, if this breaks, I can't knit anymore, and I need to knit. I will not be okay if I don't have my knitting. What am I gonna do? So I managed to fix it. Obviously it's fixed, but I was like, I should have a backup so that when, not if, this necklace like bites the dust, like I will not just be crippled and like, well, I guess I have to give up my main hobby until the new one comes in, because like this is not something that you were just gonna like go on Amazon and find readily available. It's like, you know, it's gonna take you like a week or two to get one shipped. So I was like, shit. But anyway, so I got the 2 new ones. I'm very excited about them. I don't know if I'll use them regularly or if I'll just keep them for backup, but I think it was a very good idea for me to go get, you know, some backups. So those are ready, and now I can sleep peacefully at night. Yeah, and that's what I've got. I'm trying to think what else I want to talk about. Life is lifing. I've already said I'm caught up on Andor. I'm still writing fan fiction because of course I am. I'm writing less fan fiction than I was because last week I think I wrote like 20,000 words of fan fiction and was like, this will surely fix me. And it surely did something. But I don't need to be doing that every single week. So I've written like 2 chapters. In fact, I'm finishing one up like right after this that I've been working on for a couple days. And it's just, I've just been like using little bits of time here and there. I mostly write on my phone because I'm a gremlin. You know, it's gonna get done. It's gonna get done. I'm not worried about it. So yeah, I've been writing. I've been watching Andor. I've been reading Thrawn Treason. I was planning to read a lot of it yesterday when I was at the mechanic, and then the mechanic didn't have one of the parts they needed to work on my car, so they had to reschedule it. So I am gonna have to deal with that later. Like, but yeah, I didn't get to do all the reading that I wanted to do, so I got like literally 1 chapter in, and then was like, oh, I guess I'm going to the gym and going grocery shopping and like doing other things with my day than what I expected to do with my day. There's also a poetry collection I plan on reading soon. It's by Caitlin Sita, and I think it's like, I don't remember the title. I'll put the title down below, but it has one of my favorite poems in it, which is Hope is Not a Bird, Emily. It's a sewer rat, and it's a response to Emily Dickinson's famous poem that's like, you know, hope is a thing with wings, blah, 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 it soars in your chest, whatever. And this one's like, no, hope is not a thing with feather that comes to roost with you. Hope is a sewer rat who snorts pesticides and goes to work like nothing happened. Which is the vibe I've been in lately, because I'm like, things keep happening outside of my control that I cannot deal with, but like have to go through. And I'm like, what am I going to do about this? And like, the answer for me is just to transmute everything into a beacon of positivity and a beacon of hope. Like that is the trenches I'm sitting in. Like I'm the sewer rat. Like I'm like, all of this shit sucks. I'm going to go to the gym 7 days a week. Because I need a win, and showing up is a win. I can do that. This is your therapy session with Zenith. You thought you were here for knitting. Actually, you're here for existential crisis. Anyway, that is how life is going. And yeah, I think that's all I've got for today. We've gone through all the knitting, we've gone through reading, watching, listening. Oh, listening. I've been getting into reggae again. Buju Banton. Slaps. Sister Nancy. Slaps. Really enjoying that. And I think that for real. That for real. Might be it. I hope you all are having a fantastic week. Find something whimsical in your life and enjoy it. And, you know, I'll see you next time. Bye.